Hey guys, Buffing Game back today being our video, and today we're going to be going through some Season 3 Reloaded Warzone weapons. They did a lot of weapon patching here for the Season 3 Reloaded, so a lot of things are more viable. I noticed the recoil control on a lot of the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 weapons has been adjusted also, and including some Black Ops guns. So, gonna go through that for you guys. First off, take a look at our Alex Handler skin here. Probably one of my favorite skins in the game. I had completely forgot that I had this from Modern Warfare 2. This is a really good one. This Alex one here, I almost like better that you get from the, I think this is from the raids, which I don't have, but I don't like the headset on this version of Alex. So we got the pellicores on this one. Definitely the better one. You have this warrior one here also, which is a really nice dark skin if you're trying to play the rose card. But let's go ahead and back out and look at the weapons here. So first up, I'm going to repeat a few from the previous videos because the Season 3 Reloaded changed a lot of the balances. So the repeat ones we'll go through quickly, right? So the Mark 17 or the Scar Heavy here is a really good option that you can see the following attachments here. I really struggled to find the right build. And I think here in Season 3 Reloaded you have a good amount of changes. So we're just going to run the Mark 17, run the Battlefield Promotion Blueprint here. So we have the Lone Wolf Optic. We have, which is the EOTech optic, we have the Scratch 20 light suppressor. Going to give us damage at range and bullet velocity increase as well as undetectable by the radar. Going to run the Bruin Warrior grip on there. Just any vertical foregrip is the same. So all the suppressors, grips, things like that, categorized, they do the same. 50-round drum with the 7.62x51. And here we're going to run the low grain ammo. This is something I was playing around with for the Modern Warfare guns. Low grain is going to give us better recoil control and gun kick control with no cons. So there's really no point not to use this. I think previously it gave you bullet velocity and damage reductions for cons, but now they've made it so it doesn't do anything. So if you have that attachment to use, you might as well use it. And this version of Mark 17 here, been running this for solos, duos, quads, everything. It's actually a pretty decent gun. You can customize the optic if you want something different also. But pretty good build right here. I've had a really good luck with this version of the Mark 17. This is probably one of the better builds. Another thing you could do is maybe get rid of the magazine or the suppressor and run the 12-inch barrel for a little bit better ergo, but that is going to reduce your damage at range. But this isn't really a ranged build, so I think that's a really nice option. So let's go ahead and we'll look at that in the firing range quick. We'll go one by one. So here it is in the firing range. And like it honestly shoots, this is a good medium range weapon, I feel like. It shoots relatively flat. Outside of that 30-ish meters, you can see it's a little bit difficult. I think maybe a different optic would help me see a little bit better. But it is a really nice build here. So pretty good build here. Again, this is, like I said, it's going to be close to medium. And the low grain definitely makes it a little easier to control. The only thing I would say, now that I'm in here, I don't really love the way that optic handles. I would almost want to say to swap it out with something like a dot, like this Trijicon right here. This Trijicon red dot probably be a little bit better of an option. So definitely give this one a try. It's a really good one. Go ahead and back out. The Verdansk we've covered exhaustively. There's nothing new really with that build. Here's the Bushmaster 450, right? The ACR 450 Bushmaster rounds. So this is another solid one here. You can see we're going to run just a Dragon's Eye optic. Going to run the Cronin SP DR suppressor. All the suppressors do the exact same, so it doesn't really matter which one you want or you use. Now, for the barrel option here, this is going to be, I'm running the Rattleback 16-inch barrel for gun kick and recoil control. Now, there's another one that does similar, and it's this one here. So this potentially, they're very similar. Barrels here, the Tempest Predator and the Rattleback. Very similar stat-wise. You have better aim down sight speed with this far one. So the choice is really up to you which one you wanted to use. But it's going to give us, either of those are going to give us great recoil control. Going to run the Magpul vertical foregrip or the OpX9, and then the OLEV laser for the aim down sight speed. Now you can obviously swap that laser out for a magazine option if you wanted, because the base is only 20, so you can run the 30 round drum or an optic or something, or a, you know, could even run low grain ammo for reduced recoil if you really wanted to. But the ACR 450 Bushmaster variant here is a ton of fun to use. So I do really, really like this. It's kind of the equivalent of like what the Odin or the Ash-12 was in Modern Warfare 2019's Warzone. So let's go ahead and give that thing a try. It's a pretty quick TTK, honestly. You have the slow rate of fire, and we covered this in another video, but this is a slightly different build. Right there, I overcompensated for the recoil heavily, but you can see, if we go this close to target, let's just tap fire the chest. It's a 5-shot kill to the chest. If we do the head, right? 4 shots. So with a slow rate of fire, you can keep this thing pretty accurate. And it definitely has like a very similar rate of fire to what the Odin did, which is really cool. So this is basically the new Odin, essentially. Problem is, you know, you have basically the same mag options. You have, I think with the Odin, you had the 20, 15, and a 30 rounder. So it's basically the same thing. And so you can see, I think that's going to be a 6-shot out at 50, which is still amazing. So really good gun. This is really great for solos, duos. You can even get away with this in trios, honestly. Like, the rate of fire, you're not wasting a lot of ammo. I think the extra 10 rounds might be good if you're in quads, but really nice build here. So the Sidewinder, the ACR 450. Let's go ahead and take a look. Mark 46, I think we've covered. The RM277, I don't want to necessarily cover that again in this video. I'd make some tweaks with it. I'll just go into it really, really quick. Covered it in previous ones. It's basically the same build. What I did is you can see the build here. I put the low grain ammo on it, and it has a lot better accuracy, in my opinion. I think this is a result of the Season 3 adjustments they did. So the RM277, you can see the build here. Basically the same one as I showed last video. I'm also going to show off the spear, so we'll show these two in the firing range at the same time, because they are both NGSW products. Dragon's Eye optic for the spear. Harmonic suppressor. Gonna run the short 8 barrel. This is a new one I put on. I was running the base barrel. The short 8-inch barrel here is gonna give us recoil, gun kick, movement speed, sprint to fire. It's a heavier barrel, 45 round mag, and then we're gonna run the Bruin Heavy for, again, gun kick and recoil, aim and stability. So this is a good stock, I think. And I'm not running a vertical grip, so I used my barrel option instead of the vertical grip. And I think this works really well. This is another gun that benefited a lot from the Season 3 Reloaded, it seems. Now, again, I don't know if that was a silent patch or what with some of these other guns, but I noticed a distinct difference with these two weapons, the RM277 and the spear. So let's go ahead. We'll start with the RM277. Take a look at it. Little faster rate of fire than the spear, obviously. But this is going to be a close to medium range build. Again, you have a fast rate of fire, so I think it works out pretty well. Anything beyond like 30 meters, I wouldn't consider it unless you're mounting, right? So that further run, we can we mount? Let's see. We can mount. And if you really want to get crazy, I noticed that the damage increases when it's in single fire. So it was an 8-shot kill there, or 9 depending. So if you're stretching out at ranges, that's pretty good. So, pretty good gun. Let's take a look at the spear quick. The spear, I think, is a much better option just because the slower rate of fire makes it way easier to control, even though they fire the same cartridge. Or round, I should say. Now, because I don't have a grip, you can see it's a little bit wonky to get that further target. But, again, this is more of a close to medium build, so I don't really think you would need you wouldn't really be stretching out this far at full auto. Just tap fire it and you're good. Pretty good. So the SIG Sour Spear, XM7 or the M7, and the RM277 there are really good options. Let's see what else we have. The ACR. Okay, so this is one that I really like the 300 blackout conversion, but I also think you're a little bit limited with range. So you can see the attachments I have here. Just run in the EOTech optic, borehead suppressor. For the barrel ops, we're going to run this Crater Heavy Barrel for a recoil invisibility gun kick. Magpul vertical foregrip, and a 40-round mag. I really hate the 60-round option that they did with this instead of not going with just a regular casket mag. It doesn't really make much sense that they went with this goofy thing. But so I'm running the 40-round just for aesthetic purposes. This is just an absurdly large magazine for a 60-rounder. So we're going to go with this. The ACR, now again, the 300 blackout aftermarket part is really, really good also, but that's more of a close quarters, and I really don't notice too much of a difference. This is a solid build right here with the regular ACR. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Very flat shooting. I have it labeled as ACR 300 just because I didn't change it back yet, but you can see it's actually a pretty fast TTK, and it shoots very flat. This is honestly one of the flattest shooting guns I think I've played with in the game so far. Let's try this 50-meter target. So again, just this is a sleeper. I feel like I don't think anyone's really using this, and it's a pretty fast kill. So let's see what 25 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So it's on par with all the other ARs. I feel like, but you have no recoil on this. It's a very flat shooting weapon, which is going to make it ideal for Warzone engagements. So really good one there. Let's go ahead and see if I want to cover one more here. Going to be the AEK. So the AEK seems to have had a big recoil buff, so the recoil's better now. So I'm running 8 attachments on this. Going to run the DM3, the Russian holographic monolithic suppressor. We're going to run the reinforced barrel here for damage at range and bullet velocity. We're going to run the vertical foregrip. That's going to give us the horizontal recoil control. Going to run the 50-round magazine of the 545 by 45 millimeter. Going to run the quick draw grip for aim down sight. Okay, and then we're going to run the balanced stock. It's going to help us again with our ergo and movements. And then we're going to run the full auto mod for the AEK. So that'll turn it from a AEK 971 into a 973. Changing the cartridge from 7.62 by 39 millimeter to 545 by 39 millimeter. So the AEK 971 here. Beautiful weapon. If you remember some of the previous videos, I didn't really understand how I was supposed to use this thing, because the recoil, horizontal and vertical, was both just a nightmare. Now it seems like they fixed it. So with the Season 3 patch, definitely made this a much better option. The recoil is much more straight vertical for the most part. And I can control these medium ranges is really where you would want to do these engagements. And you can see I'm still hitting a lot of shots, even at that 50-meter range. Pretty good. Really fast rate of fire, so you're making up for any downside with that. If we check out the recoil pattern here, you can see they changed it to basically be vertical, right? So all you got to do is essentially pull it straight down. Gonna get a little horizontal wobble there, but it's a really good build. So the AEK 971, I think, is a really nice option now moving forward that they seem to have patched it. Still takes a lot of shots to kill, but it's still much better than I think it was. 4, 5, 6. Let's try that again. I think I messed that up. Let's try the medium target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's about 2 extra shots to kill than some of the typical ARs, but your rate of fire Mix up for that, mix some headshots in there, and you're in really good shape. So let me know your thoughts down below. What was your favorite weapon here that I showed? There's some more, but I don't want this video to be too long. But again, some of these are repeats, but now with the Season 3 adjustments, using low-grain ammo on some of these, I think they work out really well. So they definitely make the Modern Warfare weapons much more viable here, Season 3 Reloaded. Let me know your thoughts down below. Next time, this is Buckner Gaming, out.